Morning everyone, this is the next day from the last sort of log entry on the sort of engine build on the truck, and we've done a few things sort of extra from yesterday. You'll see as we come around the front of the truck I've actually taken the middle section of the bodywork out, and I did this for a couple of reasons. One is on the Land Rover, down the bottom here on the chassis, if I sort of come under here you might see it, there's a hole in the actual chassis member, and that's in the old days when they had the 4 cylinders in these things. They used to be able to run farm implements off of the crankshaft. The problem was, for me to be able to turn the crankshaft through that hole, the radiator, bottom of the radiator hose was right in the way, the actual pipe off the bottom, so I had to either lift it up so as I could use, get that space to work off, or just take the whole thing out, and obviously it made a lot more sense to take it out. That way when I go to set the lifters up, or the rockers I mean, it's easier for me to be able to do on my own, because otherwise I'd have to lie under the truck. It's just impossible, and I'm the sort of bloke that don't like asking for help. Now, I mentioned yesterday about the nuts on the collectors on the bottom of the extractors that were just impossible to get to and impossible to get off. Real funny, because I had those that exhaust system done about 6 weeks ago, so you would have thought they would have come off easy. I don't know how he did it, but he must have arms like Popeye. So I ended up using this tool here, and this is a multi-tool for those of you that haven't seen one before. It's they're great. I've had it for about 3 years, never used it, and lucky it was just sitting next to the truck in the box. And when I was trying to figure out how to do it, I was almost thinking I was going to have to go to the old way of doing things, and anyone in their sort of 40s or 50s will remember having to get a hacksaw blade and just spending hours cutting through things. Well, of course, this one here has a little vibrating blade. Different types of blades you can use, but that's the one I used because I was able to get into the space. And I just cut through the sides of the nut, because I couldn't get it in on an angle to cut through the nut and the bolt. So I went upwards instead, cut the 2 sides off the nut, and then just off she came. Other issues I probably had is I decided to leave the starter motor just sort of dangling, because I needed to get that out the way to get the sump nuts off. And then I knocked it and it fell down a bit and ripped one of the wires off the starter motor, so lesson learnt there. It's fully degreased. The bores look real good, there's no lips on them, but I'll still give it a little hone because I never have. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. I've given everything a good clean, so I'll come over here and I'll just show you. Here's the caps, bearing caps. There. This one I just gave a clean on the buffer, so it looks pretty nice and tidy, and this is what the rest of them at the moment look like. They're a little bit sort of grubby, and I don't know if you're supposed to clean them, but we will. Pistons, same thing. I've got a buffing wheel on my little grinder there, so that's the buffer there, and use that for polishing up bits of steel on the engine. That's the before, I guess. That's quite a clean piston head. These are 2 that I've actually had a bit of a go at. As you can see, they're tidy. I just got to do those recess parts for the valves. I'll get some. I'll figure out how to do it. Give them a clean or something anyway. And then I got the manifold down here, which is quite a nice one. It's a Holly Street Performer, or Street Dominator manifold. It's been on the truck for a while anyway. I only got that one. I took off a Nettlebrock one because I like the height that you get up here. Makes it look a bit gruntier. So that's where we are at the moment. I'll show you the body part for the truck. It's a good thing about doing the panel work myself and building it about 4 years ago, so the nuts and bolts are all nice and easy to get off. So this is the section here, and it basically just unbolts. They go side to side, the guard comes down, and sorry about my camera work. So you got bolts here and they just then the guard goes that way, and this recesses slightly into the guards. So that's going to save us a bit of time and effort. So I'll be playing on it maybe later on today if I get a chance. I've got some work inside to do, and so far so good, not too daunting yet. Okay, bye.